So now I'm going to just tell it to do this search. And here's the results. Now, there's a little bug in Inspector in that it also searched some of the other databases from completely other projects here, Tool being one, and the Informative People, the final Informative People files. We can ignore those. The ones that we're really interested in here are the ones that come from the databases in the original collection. So this would be the COMPRCDP file. There are 5 different sorts that were established there. There's one for the JOBOR CDP and another one for the people one. So we're going to look at these each in turn, and then we're going to jump back over to the relationship graph, and we're going to make these adjustments. So let's just start with the first one here. Let me move this over to the side, and then I'm going to start with the first one here. So this is the JBO one, or it's actually looking at the COMPRCDP table, and let's see what kind of join sorts we have here. So I clicked right on this little icon here, and then in this window it gives me all the details about that particular relationship. And down here under join sorts, it's telling me that there's an ascending sort on the table occurrence JBO comp ID. Now you'll notice that it doesn't have the suffix that we had added because this was taken from the original before we'd made any changes to it. But that's okay. It doesn't really matter as long as we know this. So we're going to go over here and we're going to look for the COMPRCDP RCP table occurrence here. So we'll come over here and we'll find that here, and then we're going to look at the JBO comp ID one, which was the first one that it was asking for. Now I've gone in and redone some of these already, so don't be surprised if you see these sorts done. So I'll just double click on this, and then I would come in here and I would set up the sort for that. And if we go back and forth, we can see that this is using JO serial number and in an ascending sort. So I selected that from over here and assigned that ascending sort. And so that takes care of that one. And then I went back over here and I looked at the next one in the list. And let's see, that was here. So I will click on this. And this is going to be an ascending sort using the people comp ID. And again, this is from the same database as before, the same table. So people comp ID, and that will also be an ascending sort. So we'll find the people comp ID one here. Come in here and double click that and set up that sort as well. Now in some cases you're going to find that the sorts are already set up for you, and it was FM Robot was able to find some of these and establish them on its own while others were not doable. And that just depended upon the availability of those fields and other relationships that it might have been requiring at the moment that it created the one that we're currently working on. So in this particular case here, we're going to skip over that one because that one has been done. And we'll come over here and we'll just go on to the next one. Now here we've got a triple sort, and one ascending, one descending, and another one ascending. These were already done as well, but if they hadn't been done, we'd be looking for the table occurrence, which is called ACT Comp ID Manager. So we'll come over here and we'll I think, which one was that? I'm sorry, it was the ACT. Okay, so the one that begins with ACT, this one right here. And so if I double click that and look at the sorts, I've already set these up as well. And you can see I have one ascending on JO number, a descending on date, and an ascending on status. So I already did these, but I'm just showing you that you'll probably need to go in and set these up yourself. Now as we move through some of these, you'll notice that there will be some that we don't have to worry about. But these three were the three that we just looked at right here. So let's now come down to this one. This is now looking in the job order table. And so I'll come down here and I'll select that one. And this is going to be a descending sort using JONUM account as the table occurrence. So again, we're looking at the job order table this time and JONUM account. So we'll find the job order one, and that's, I believe, this one right here. Make sure about this. Yeah, job order, okay. And then we wanted to look at the JONUM account. So we'll find JONUM account, which is right here. And then I'll go to its relationship and I'll tell it we want to set up a sort. And then going back and forth, we're going to be sorting on the date field, and that'll be a descending sort. So we'll come down here and we'll find date, and I can do a quick search, type DATE until I find the right one. This is not the first one, not date filled here, but it should be somewhere else in here. Maybe it was date filled here and I missed that. Let's see, JOBO descending on JONUM. Oh, it's on JONUM date. Okay. Let me see here. I'm thinking that what it did is it's just that a limitation in this is that it doesn't have room enough here to show the whole thing. And I don't think that these are spread outable. So it's actually pointing to the one that you're not seeing all the text here. So this is the only one with date, so it's date filled here, so I would move that over. And this is supposed to be descending. So we'll switch this over to descending. And this is the procedure that you'll just go through as you look at each example indicated here. Now we've only got one more to do, so let's just go ahead and do that. This is on the people table. So we'll come down here and we'll select this. And then it's going to be under found set. So it'll be the people one. And it's going to be the found sets relationship. So let's find people and found sets relationship. Here's people over here, and here's our found sets. Is it this one? Yeah, it's this one here. So again, we will double click this, and this one I actually set up earlier. So if I click on this, you can see that it was using the name field and ascending, and that's what I set up here. So that's all in this particular database, but you may have additional ones that you'll have to do, and finding those is much more convenient if you use Inspector.